Today we've got a story that's stirring up plenty of debate across the UK, and for a good reason. It's the kind of thing that makes headlines and gets people talking. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, there's a family accused of faking the nationality to claim asylum, costing taxpayers a staggering amount of $200,000 in just 1 year, and now living in a luxury home worth a whopping $720,000. Yes, you heard that right. Are you intrigued? Let's dive into all the twists and turns of this case, break it down, and ask the big questions. But before we get into the nitty-gritty, let's take a step back and talk about asylum seekers. Who are they? Why do they risk so much to come here? And what happens when they arrive? So, first things first, what does it mean to seek asylum? Simply put, an asylum seeker is someone who flees their home country because they have a well-founded fear of persecution. This could be due to their race, religion, political beliefs, nationality, or even their membership in a particular social group. Think about it, it's not a decision anyone makes lightly. Leaving behind your home, your family, and everything familiar, that's huge, but for many, staying often means risking their lives. Some of the most common places asylum seekers come from include war-torn regions like Syria, Afghanistan, Myanmar, and Venezuela. These are places where violence, oppressions, and human rights violations are an everyday reality. Now, when someone arrives in the UK and says, "I need asylum," the journey is far from over. Here's how it works. First, you need to get through the screening interview where the applicant gives the details and explains why they're seeking asylum. Then there's the substantive interview where they provide a detailed account of their story, what happened, why they fled, and why they can't go back to their homeland. And finally, after 2 interviews, the decision part comes in. The UK Home Office reviews the claim and decides whether the individual qualifies as a refugee. Sounds straightforward, right? But in reality, this process can drag on for months, even years. During that time, asylum seekers are often stuck in limbo. Some even live in the airport. Mehran Karimi Nasiri, also known as Sir Alfred Mahan, was an Iranian refugee who famously lived in Terminal 1 of Charles de Gaulle Airport in Paris, France, for approximately 18 years from 1988 to 2006. His story gained international attention and inspired the 2004 Steven Spielberg film The Terminal starring Tom Hanks. He left Iran to study in the United Kingdom. However, after his return, he claimed to have been expelled from Iran for participating in protests against the Shah's regime. This led to him applying for political asylum in several European countries. Eventually, Belgium granted him refugee status. Nasiri's extended stay in the airport began due to a complicated series of events. According to his account, while traveling to the UK via France in 1988, his documents were stolen. He attempted to board a flight but was detained by the French authorities. Without proper documentation, he couldn't leave the airport or enter France officially. Although his legal status was later clarified and he was permitted to live in France, Nasiri chose to remain in the airport. He became a well-known figure there, living in a small corner of the terminal and surviving on food and assistance from airport staffs and travelers. That was complicated, but not all asylum seekers had to go through what Sir Alfred Mahan went. In some cases in the UK, they are given basic housing, but they can't choose where to live. They receive just £45 a week to cover all their needs. Oh, and they are not allowed to work. If their application is approved, they are granted refugee status, which means they can stay in the UK, work, and build a new life. But if it's denied, they face deportation and potentially years of appeals. Now, let's get to the heart of today's story, the Singh-Kaur family. The saga began just before Christmas last year when Gurbakhsh Singh, 72, his wife Ardet Kaur, 68, their son Guljeet Singh, 43, and his wife Kawaljeet Kaur, 37, landed at Heathrow Airport. They claim to be Afghan nationals fleeing persecutions under the Taliban regime. But here's where it gets complicated. Authorities accused them of being Indian citizens who had previously been denied UK visas earlier that same year. Yes, you heard that right. They allegedly tried to enter legally but were rejected. Now they are being charged with using false pretenses to seek asylum. In court earlier this month, interpreters from both Dari, which spoken in Afghanistan, and Punjabi were provided, raising more questions about their true origins. Prosecutors argue that Home Office records confirm their Indian nationality and show previous visa applications under their Indian identities. Initially, the family was housed in a Holiday Inn in Wembley, a hotel entirely booked by the Home Office for asylum seekers. No, this isn't a standard Holiday Inn experience, it's off limits to regular customers. But here's where things take another turn. They've since been moved to a luxury 4-bedroom house in Hemel Hempstead. This isn't just any house either. It's a £575,000 thrilling property with an open-plan ground floor, a top-tier kitchen, and a landscape garden. To top it off, it's located in a sought-after area with excellent schools and easy commutes. So what's the cost? No, not for the house, but for the asylum seeker. Housing an asylum seeker in the UK now reportedly costs around £41,000 per person annually, according to recent estimates. For this family of four, that's a jaw-dropping £164,000 in just 1 year, paid for by taxpayers. The family has pleaded not guilty to charges of deception and entering the UK without proper authorization. They are due back in court in January, where this case is sure to grab even more attention. Their legal team maintains their innocence, but the allegations are serious. This case highlights some of the biggest debates surrounding the UK's asylum system. On one hand, we have international laws like the 1951 Refugee Convention, which protect those fleeing danger. On the other hand, there's a growing concern about the potential for abuse within the system. The Illegal Migration Act of 2023, for example, aims to prevent people arriving through unauthorized routes like crossing the channel in small boats from claiming asylum. Supporters say it's about protecting borders. Critics argue it unfairly targets vulnerable people who have no other way to seek safety. So what do you think? Is this a case of blatant abuse of the system, or is there more to the story than meets the eye? Should the asylum process be stricter, or does this family deserve the benefit of the doubt? And that's it for today's video. Let us know your thoughts down in the comments below. If you like the video, hit the like button. If you dislike the video, hit the dislike button. Don't forget to subscribe. Thanks for watching, and as usual, I'll see you in the next news. Bye bye.